Welcome to 30 AI agents in 30 days. Today is number 8, where we will have a look at an AI agent for hotels that books rooms right inside of the website. It will pop up here inside a button and it will take all of the questions from the guest and extract the required details to book a booking, which will be saved inside Airtable here, inside the Reservations tab. And this is based on a database composed of the rooms and the guests and the room types of the hotel. Everything is built inside of Voiceflow, which is an app that allows you to build conversational flows that follow a certain pattern that you want to define depending on your brand, tone, and workflows. But let's get started and ask the AI agent that we want to book a room. Hi, I'd like to book a room, please. And then we can see here that the AI agent is writing to me. So you can imagine this experience is similar to ChatGPT, but because it has these fixed steps in the workflows, it doesn't deviate from them and it will ask me precisely the right questions. So in this case, it tells me, okay, could you please let me know your preferred check-in and check-out dates? So I say, okay, it's from August 27th to 30th. Now it will have a look if it can confirm this. Okay, what type of room? So it tells me what type of room I want, and I say, okay, what room types do you have and what's the difference between them? And now it looks inside the database, the Airtable that I showed you just now, to query the room types and to give me the precise information. So you can see here we have 3 room types: standard, deluxe, and suite. And it gives you the notes, it gives you the amenities it has, and all of this. And you can see that it's accurate. And it gives me the standard room, the capacity, and it gives me the price as well, and then everything else that I need to know. And then it says, would you like me to book the standard, deluxe, or these? And then I see, okay, because I want to book for 3 people, the suite and the deluxe room would be relevant, right? So then I say, okay, let's go with the suite. What are the different suite types that you have? And now it will go a bit deeper and it gives me more details, and it will ask me, okay, would you like me to dig deeper? Okay, then I will say, yes, please provide the differences between different suite rooms you offer. And now it also asks me, okay, how many guests? It's 3 people, and I'll confirm. So now it saw that I want to know the different features of the different suites that they have. And again, it queries the database here in the rooms tab, and it sees, okay, there's different suite types, these ones over here, and they have different amenities, different particularities, right? Like some of them, they have a panoramic sea view, some of them have a workspace and balcony, and all of this, it tells me here, right? So room 301, panoramic view, balcony, dedicated work space, and so on. So I'll say, okay, I'll take the one with the workspace. And now it queries it again, and then it has to check if they're available for the dates that I've requested. And again, we can check here in the database that this is correct. So we look at the reservations and we look at the suites. So we just sort them so we can see everything in one view. So we have the suites here, and we see that from the dates that we requested, from August 27th to 30th, basically they're available because the last reservation or the latest is August 21st, which is good. So it talked about room 302, which is available, which is good. So now I'm saying, yes, proceed with room 302. And then it asks for my details. So I say my details are the name, Robert Hangu, contact email is my contact email, and then phone is my phone. Now it should create a contact inside the database. So we can see this in real time. If we go to guests, it has to create a guest here under my contact. And it says, okay, you're not yet in our database, so I will first create your profile. So here we will check it in a minute. It says, okay, once the profile is created, it will finalize the booking. One moment, please. And I say, okay. So now I'll ask it, okay, what's the status? And here I have to confirm the details again. Yes, they're correct. So now it has managed to create my contact here. As you can see, it was added here to the contacts database with my phone number, my email, and basically a note, workspace requested. And then it said, okay, number of guests 3, confirmation number, special request workspace, your profile, and your reservations are fully linked. So basically, if I look at the reservations, I see that here, there's a reservation made for my name, for the suite, for the dates I set, August 27th to 30th. And basically it also saved some of the details that about workspace requested, my name and everything. And now if I look at my email inbox, I can see that I got a confirmation email from this. And it says, okay, hey, Robert, we confirm your reservation with Next Hotel Experience, August 27th to 30th. And also what I requested a workspace. We'll take care of everything. Thank you very much, which is very nice. So now, how did I build this? I built this with Voiceflow, which is a system that allows me to specify these steps, which consist of prompts for each step and with the tools that are required to call them. So here I start with a greeting and an intent detection. And basically how Voiceflow is made, it's a bit more detailed than, for example, retail, because it's a bit older. It comes from the days of natural language processing, where you had to define each steps of a chatbot and it recognize intents and so on. And only lately have they added this function of an agent that you can see up here, that you can basically prompt and that it can follow steps and follow through with them so that it can basically achieve a goal, okay? Now, I won't go into all the details of Voiceflow here, of all the other types of nodes that it has. I will just keep with the agents and show you how to build this flow, right? It's very easy. So it starts with this node and it has an agent that works with greeting and intent detection. And it's very similar to what we saw in retail in the previous videos. You can prompt this here and say, okay, it's Millie from Next Hotel Experience. This is basically the first thing that we saw here in the chat. If we scroll up, we can see, okay, hello to the Next Hotel Experience. I am Millie and how can I help you? And then we continue. And once this is done, it has a condition when it should continue. So when the user wants to book a room, and then I can also prompt this here, transition if the guest has the intention to book a room. It's similar to the transitions between the stages in retail as well. So we see some similarities here, right? And this is very good for text agents, Voiceflow, because you can specify them very, very precisely. Lately, they've also added a voice functionality, but from what I saw or what I've seen so far, it's not as good as retail. So Voiceflow excels in text agents, retail in voice agents, right? Now, once this transition has been done, it goes to the step of collecting the data. And by the way, I will share this file with you with the link in the description below, which is a .vf file that you can come and import directly into Voiceflow. Here, you click on import, and then you upload the file here from your file system, right? Clicking import here, and then you can hit the ground running straight away with all these prompts and with all these stages, right? Now, if we continue, we collect the information, and here we have a similar flow that we saw in retail as well, where we ask the question about what the check-in, check-out dates should be, what type of room do they require, how many people will be staying. Now, if we go back, these are the steps that we had here, right? So it said, okay, can you please let me know the preferred check-in and check-out date? And could you please tell me all these other details here? Now, it has two tools that it will use here. It's the get room type and get the current date. So get the room type is a connection to this table here in Airtable, where you remember it said, okay, we have all of these rooms here, right? So the AI agent knows which availability, the AI agent knows which type of rooms there are and what their amenities and properties are. And the current date is a JavaScript function that basically tells it what the current year is, because very often these LLMs, they are trained up to a specific date, and sometimes they get the date 2024. So when I say August 27th to 30th, they think it's 2024. So it's just a very simple function here that I say, okay, return the current date. Then we continue to the next step where we check the availability. And here again, we have these tools where it checks for the room types, for the conflicting reservations. And the way it does this, it first has a look at all the rooms that intersect with this date, and then it subtracts that from all the other rooms. And for this, we have a separate function called get conflicting reservations. And what it does, if we look at the API call here, it will filter a Airtable by this formula, right? So that it takes the room type that I chose, and basically it has to check that the dates don't intersect, okay, or that they intersect, and then it will filter it out. So this is what happens here in this function. And then finally, once that's done, it will allocate and reserve this room for me. And this happens again with the functions. Here we have lots of functions. It looks more complicated than it is, but the AI agent needs all of these to make the operations in the order that it needs to get this to an end. And here I will say, okay, this is how you proceed. You will check if the guest is already in the database, and then if not, you will create an entry. So this is this guest database here, and it created this entry for me, right? And then once that's done, you'll create a reservation, and then you will make sure that the rest is linked properly, because in Airtable, we have these links. So in my reservation, there is a link to my profile inside the guests table. So this is basically my reservation, and this is not just my name in text, but it's an actual link that if I click, you can see here, here it links to the guests table, right? And then I can see my contact here in the guests table. So this is what I instructed it to do here to work with the IDs. And what it will do is that it will create a guest that it will do here, create guest. Again, a connection to Airtable. And here I instructed it to use this API call with these fields that it extracted from the previous conversation, from the steps of the conversation, like guest full name, guest phone, and guest email. And then it will put them into these parameters here. And that's basically it. Then it has created this entry here, right? And then inside Airtable, I have an automation that says, okay, when a record is created, send an email. And in this email here, I include the subject with the confirmation number and everything that we saw in the email earlier. So just to quickly get back there, your reservation with Next Hotel Experience, confirmation 11, which is the same that we had here in the Airtable data. Inside the reservations, we see here confirmation 11, right? And then we have the automation that does this, that basically sends me an email, and it also includes the notes that I had and the rest of the email. Now, just to recap everything that we saw today, we had a reservation agent for hospitality that asks the guests all of the details required, such as what rooms do they want, what date do they want, and how many people will come. And it will give them all the information that they need in order to make the right decision. So it guides them through each step of the reservation process. And it works because it's based on an Airtable database that it has API access to. It can be connected to any type of CRM or hotel booking system whatsoever, as long as the API is public and you can connect to it, which many systems do offer. And it was built inside Voiceflow, which is a system that allows you to specify these conversational steps and prompt each step with everything that the agent has to do at each particular step. You don't have to write anything of this down. I will share the complete .vf file in the comments below, so you can come here into Voiceflow and import it directly, such that you can hit the ground running and get started with your agent right away. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a 30 AI agents in 30 days challenge. If you don't want to miss any of the new agents that I put out, feel free to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.